Hey there once again, internet buddies. It is me, Brandon Hart of the ECOstruder, and a thing just showed up at the shop today, and instead of tearing into it like I normally do, like a kid on Christmas, I decided to hold off and unbox it for you all. So no preparation whatsoever. We're just gonna jump into this thing and see what's going on with the Artillery Sidewinder X2. Yes, the Artillery Sidewinder X2. It is not necessarily a brand new machine to the market, but it is brand new to me. I've never tried any machines by Artillery 3D before. And you might ask yourself, why this machine and why now? Well, sort of as you saw happen with the CR6 Max from Creality, I was interested in this machine because we here at HeartSmart Products like to offer lots of different machine options to our customers. And one of my favorite Creality machines is the CR10 version 3. Definitely not the newest model, and unfortunately has now been discontinued. And I'm very sad about that, but I need to find a good replacement for it. The Artillery Sidewinder X2 was suggested to me as a possible good option to replace that machine, so I decided to check it out. That's what we're doing here today. Okay, let's see what is in here. So pretty familiar packaging from the other machines from Creality. Nice big foam piece on top, custom cut out foam for the machine itself. Seems like everything's pretty well packaged. What do we have here? This appears to be the spool holder that sits on the top of the frame, and it's got this cool kind of rotating, almost, yeah, it's got a ball joint for the filament detection sensor that hangs off of the spool holder on the top of the machine. So nice metal spool holder, could be good. We'll find out. Got a little bag. I believe this is the tool kit. Oh yeah, so we've got, looks like some of the parts of the spool holder in here, a USB cable. Oh, spare ribbon cable. This is one of the things I'm interested in about this particular machine. I don't know how much I love the idea of a ribbon cable being used to connect the print head to the rest of the machine, so this is something I'm going to be keeping an eye on. The fact that they include an extra ribbon cable is both nice and also somewhat concerning. Why do we need extra wiring for the machine? But let's find out. Hex keys, of course. Looks like some extra wheels, a USB drive, some zip ties, a wrench. Actually seems like a halfway decent wrench. So that's cool. And all in this convenient little bag. So we'll probably be using some of those here shortly when we put it all together. Of course, you've got your user manual. Gotta have that. Although I will say, this is actually kind of nice. There's oh, okay, multiple languages. So it's not all English. About half of it is English and half of it is German. That's not the other language I was expecting. But yeah, so it is apparently half English and half German. Okay. I may or may not be looking at this as I put this thing together. Center insert, just to kind of keep everything centered. This is where all of the pieces I just took out were located. And give you a peek inside what we're looking at here. So obviously this is the top portion of the printer that looks like it comes pretty much almost fully assembled. There's probably something in the instructions about how you're supposed to pull this out of the box. but I did it that way. So hopefully that was the right way. So here's what the top section of the printer looks like. It, you know, we've got that ribbon cable I was talking about earlier that connects the print head as well as the Z-axis. We've got zip ties kind of holding everything in place, making sure stuff doesn't move around during shipping. That is very nice. This is quite the beefy X-axis right there. I like that. That's real nice. And much like the Creality CR6, we have this synchronization cable to keep both of the Z-axis lead screws in sync with each other. You do have two Z-axis lead screws so that both sides go up and down together. The drawback to that on a lot of other machines is that while both of them are getting the same instructions, they're not always moving the exact same amount, or one can get off a little bit, and then you have a lot of issues associated with that. This is a nice fix that prevents them from getting out of whack with each other. So yeah, there's that. Looks nice. This is plastic at the top, but I guess for the purpose, that's really not an issue. I'm used to that being metal. That's my only issue with that. And one more thing here. This is a Titan clone extruder on this hot end. So this is a direct drive system using a clone Titan. So not a genuine E3D Titan extruder, but a similar design. Also their own Artillery 3D developed bed level sensor. So we'll see how that performs compared to what we're used to. And then last thing I'll point out here is the hot end is actually styled after a volcano. Again, not a genuine E3D volcano, but is styled after a volcano hot end, which is more of a high flow hot end than your typical V6 style hot end. So that's interesting to see as well. Moving right along. So yeah, I'd say this thing's packaged pretty well. There's the bottom part with the bed. And I'm just gonna lift that. Okay, power cord. Okay, and then that's what everything sits down in, right there. One of the things I've gotten used to with some of the Creality machines is that there's often a flat spot in the V-slot wheels because of how long they sit in one place or how tight they are. I'm not feeling that in this machine, so that's nice. Okay, my understanding of how all of this goes together, which again, I've prepared not at all for this, but my understanding of how this all goes together is it takes about 2 minutes to fully assemble all of this, because essentially you take the top, stick it down into the two spots that are here. The screws are already in it. All you have to do is just tighten them down, and mechanically it is connected. That's it. The wiring with the ribbon cable connector plugs right in here when you're screwing the whole thing together. And then there are just a couple of additional wires for the Z-axis and then for the filament detection sensor, and that's it. It's done. So let's go ahead and do that. You ever have that thing where when you do something all by yourself, everything goes super smoothly and cleanly and easy, but when somebody's watching, stuff gets weird? Yeah, not me neither. Well, mechanically it is put together. I guess the only real thing that isn't yet done is I'm going to plug in the stepper motor cables. That's done. Then I am going to plug in, there's this one little wire over here I'm not sure about, but clearly that's where it goes. Okay. Oh, that's the filament detection sensor. Okay, for those of you who are in the United States, as I am, one thing to note is on the back here, and this is a pretty common thing, on the back there is a slider switch which is currently set to 220 and needs to be set instead to 110 in order to work with US voltage. So make sure to catch that. I've had lots of people buying Creality machines who cannot understand why the machine does not power on when they plug it in and flip the power switch. And that would be why. Okay, there's one connector that nothing's plugged into yet. I don't know if you can see this, but there's this one little connector right here. Nothing's plugged into it. And I don't know what would be. So, oh, this will be interesting if this is true, but this filament detection sensor seems to use a 3-pin plug on this side, which is wired all the way up into here. I wonder if that plug right there allows you to relocate your spool holder and then plug into this instead. That would be pretty cool if that's the case. But for now, let's just turn it on. Let's see what the heck happens. Wow, that is quiet. Even the fan is not on because the fan is thermostatically controlled. All right, so a few things about this machine. I'm excited to get testing with this machine, but a few things about this just off the top here. One of the things is that the fan is thermostatically controlled. It uses a clone, sort of Titan Aero styled extruder system, a clone Volcano hot end. It has a build volume of 300 by 300 by 400. So it's pretty similar to a CR10 build volume. And with the sort of clone Titan extruder here, it's also pretty similar to a CR10 version 3. Some differences between that machine and this one though, is this one, as you saw, was a lot easier to put together. It's very fast, very easy. It's almost completely pre-assembled out of the box. The other thing is this one has an AC powered bed. That is a really, really nice feature because that means that the bed is going to heat up much faster. It's going to be able to maintain its temperature a lot better. And also the power supply that runs the main electronics and the rest of the system doesn't have to be as large, which means that the system is generally going to run cooler as a result. Pretty cool system. You also have USB access. Again, the files print from a USB thumb drive, as they've included here. Goes directly into that. I don't know, I think this is going to be a pretty cool printer. I'm kind of excited about it. I'm going to do quite a bit of testing with it, do quite a bit of printing with it, and we'll see how it performs. I'll probably post a video about it and we'll determine whether or not this is something we're going to be selling at HeartSmart Products. Let me know in the comments down below, please, any questions, anything you want to know about this thing. When I'm doing testing, I can report back in that testing video to tell you my final thoughts and my impressions about this machine, and of course the ultimate verdict as to whether or not we're going to be selling it. Right now I would say all indications are it seems like a pretty good option, and we'll see how it prints, but I'm feeling good about this one. Right on. Please do make sure to like and click the little bell for notifications so you don't miss future videos like this one, or maybe a little bit different. And we'll see you in the next one. Have fun printing.